Hey guys, welcome to Fat Quarter Shop Flosstube. Today is July 1st, 2020. That means we're halfway through 2020, so that's exciting. We've only got half of a year left to go. We're about to start Jolly July, which is a collaboration between us and Priscilla and Chelsea of Stitching with the Housewives. It's a way to celebrate Christmas in July, so each day in July we're going to be stitching Christmas stuff. So to start, this is our Mistletoe Lane pattern. It is a PDF pattern, and if you've signed up for it, you'll get your first section on this Friday, and it will be this part. And so that's super exciting, and we're going to be doing a lot more stuff like this, so it's super exciting. I did want to let you know that we did a free downloadable PDF that you can download, and you can put the project that you're working on it. And you can do that, or you can purchase a cross-stitch journal and put all your projects in. So I'll kind of show you what I'm doing on the top camera and show you. I am just flipping through. So I'm making my book just for Jolly July. And I just list everything out, so I'm just ready to go. Everything I just have to fill in as I go. So that's super exciting. So 2 weeks ago, I showed everything that I am going to show that I'm going to stitch in Jolly July if you want to see, so you can go back 2 weeks. I did want to let you know these bags are back in stock. And we got Touch of Gray back in stock, which is the Aida equivalent. And I stitched on Overcast 25 count. So if you want to stitch over 2, you would get the 25 count. If you want to stitch on something easier, the Touch of Gray is great. It's a little bit darker, but you're never going to find an exact match between the two. Even if it's the same exact color, it'll never match exactly just because the cloth that it's dyed on is different, and so it takes the dye differently. And I will be stitching with the Weeks Dye Works pack. We do also have a DMC pack. So let me know if y'all have any questions about Jolly July or anything. These bags, once they're gone this time, we won't be getting any more. So they did come back in stock just in time. So I'm excited because I'm going to start stitching this today. And look, Piggy's hair is on it already. Piggy.
So cute. I'm going to let the questions roll in. We did have a few questions that we got in as we were starting the live stream. First one was from CRMS5. How do you juggle your crafting time between quilting and cross stitch? Do you have specific days or times of the day you set aside for each?
So I just have a big running list and I go in order. So for example, yesterday I worked on Friday's live stream and I gave myself 3 hours. I said, okay, you have 3 hours to come up with what you're doing for the live stream. And it took me 4. And then after that I cross stitched. So it just depends, whatever's priority. It is much easier for me to cross stitch. Like even if I'm in a bad mood, I can cross stitch. But if I'm quilting, if I'm like in a bad mood or like kids are screaming or things aren't going great in the house, it's hard for me because it's harder for me to get that 1/4 inch seam right. But I do try to do half and half. I've been working on a big quilting thing that I can't show you guys. So I have been doing a ton of quilting, you just don't see it. But I pretty much plan, I have a big long spreadsheet because that's how I work. And it has like due dates. And it goes by my books also, my quilting and my cross-stitch journals. And I just kind of put them in there and sort them out. And I just know my due date and I just have to get it done. So I just kind of do it by week, by day. And one of my mottos in life that I always say is I don't ever plan past a week. Now on my projects I do, but like what I'm doing day to day, I don't plan past a week. So sometimes my mom will say, well, what are you doing this day? And I'm like, Mom, I don't know. Like I don't plan past a week.
Also, we have a lot of people that are joining us live for the first time, so welcome to everyone.
Thank you. We're a cross-stitch channel, and so we're just talking a lot about cross-stitch and giving you ideas on things that you might want to do in your house.
Yeah. All right. Question from Susan Summers. What size Touch of Gray?
It's a 18 by 25. Yep, 18 by 25, and it's 14 count.
And from My Chaotic Amazing Life, as a beginner, which fabric do you suggest?
Aida. And I find that I enjoy stitching on Aida a lot more because I can go faster.
Natalia K, the Red Thimble, said, yay for the free downloads. They are super helpful and very pretty.
Yes, and so you can download that on our blog or just on fatquartershop.com. Just search Jolly July. And we do have a page of everything I'm working on Jolly July that we have linked in the blog. And so if you want to see what I'm working on, it's all on that page also.
All right. And then also from Susan Summers, she said, good morning, everyone. Would Kimberly mind saying what size fabric we need for Snow Village when they are all stitched on one piece of fabric? Many thanks.
Sure, we're going to look.
We're looking it up. And while we're looking it up, we did get a super chat in from Cindy Jensen for $49.99.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much, Cindy.
Thank
you. She says, good morning and thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cindy.
So the stitch count on Snow Village is 223 by 185. So you would divide that by your stitch count of your fabric and add about 4 to 6 inches. So if you tell me the size of count that you're working on, we can do the math for you. And thank you for that super chat. That's super generous.
Yes, thank you so much. From Lori Michaels Clappy, do you need the whole piece of Aida for the stitch along?
No, but you will have a little bit left over. You might not have enough on the side, but you might have extra on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Okay. From MJ, is there a separate cross-stitch blog?
No, we have everything on one, but we are going to do all of our sew-alongs as a cross-stitch extra tab so that you can find those easily. Mm-hmm. But no, we're just one company, and we're going to keep it all one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Super chat from Susan Summers for $1.99. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
And so if you guys are wondering about the dog that comes across the screen, it's my dog, Piggy.
Yeah. Gabriel Fuentes was actually asking, how is Piggy?
He's good. He's been super lazy.
Aww.
Super lazy and super wants to eat everything in the house.
Okay. From Patty Kolak, when will Bloom-Topia cross-stitch be posted to download today? I believe that's already
It's already
just gone
posted.
live.
Bloom-Topia.
Yes. From Matthew Modise, any tips for newbies to linen or cloth stitching over 2?
We did a video that Cheryl filmed for us on our Flosstube channel about how to stitch over 2. So you can find that video. Maybe we can link it to you. Mm-hmm. And I think, when you're starting with something like that, for me, it's helpful to have a light. Maybe I use a Halo Go light, but it's easier for me to see the holes because it seems like they're smaller.
Mm-hmm. All right. And we also just got another super chat from Michelle Moore for $20. And they put that little pear, and it's got the mirror that's going like this, and it says,
Aww.
Thanks for being you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
So I wanted to show you, since we're starting Jolly July, my very first piece is Kringles. So I wanted to show you what I did yesterday. So I have a little bit of anxiety about, so this is Kringles. I'm using my new line keepers. And I have everything just thrown in here. But for today, I'm trying to do this whole row. And I call it a swag row. So I pretty much started, and it took me like 3 or 4 hours just to do this. So before I leave work, I might be able to get to like right here. But I wanted to start day one just a little bit early so that I would be able to get all the way across by next week. So I did cheat and started this a tiny bit early. It was a little bit easier than I thought. Next week is the brick row, and that took me a long time. So I did want to show you that on Jolly July, that I cheated a little bit. And then I'm going to show you now what Cheryl has planned for Jolly July. So she is going to do 8 projects, 2 each week. And I'm not going in the order. I'm just going to show you what she's doing. I'm not exactly sure which order she's going to do in. So this is 2020 Prairie Schooler. And then she started it, so we'll show you. This is what she's stitching on, which is 32 count red petty point on natural raw Belfast linen. She's using the called for DMCs. The next one she's working on is Llama Ornament from this Noah's Christmas Arc 7. And so she already started. Okay, and there's a great photo to show you how she stitches. So that is a spring tension hoop, and that is what she stitches in and what she's always stitched in. And she's stitching on 32 count light taupe Lugana from her stash and called for DMC. And then her other projects that she's going to start is Mary 1 by Plum Street Samplers, Mary Noel by With Thy Needle and Thread. She's going to do some of the Santas from St. Nicholas on Prairie Schooler. And so that is a great way if you wanted to do Jolly July and do it totally different than what I'm doing. You don't have to do it each day. She's going to do 2 projects a week, so at the end she has 8 done. So it's kind of, you can just have the freedom of whatever you want to stitch on in Jolly July. I would love for you to comment and let me know what you guys are going to be working on, so I'll know.
All right, question here from Lindsay Ladwig. Have you mastered that special confetti stitch yet, Kimberly?
No, I've been working on it. So a couple of you sent a link to other videos, and so I'm going to check those out. I haven't checked them out yet, but yes, no, I want to so bad.
From Denise Marie, I have everything to start Snow Village, but I am so scared to start it. I don't want to mess it up. Any advice?
So I would just start in the middle and go out. That's kind of how she designed it, was to start in the middle, Country Cottage. So that's kind of what I did. And the first one is really takes a lot more time because it's a really big rectangle rather than a square. So just, take your time. And on Snow Village and Kringles and stuff like that, it's really good to work on it and give yourself a break, or else you might become just super overwhelmed. And so giving yourself a break from the projects will make it more fun.
All right. From Lisa Mallory Blundell, do you prefer to stitch with or without a tension hoop?
I stitch in hand because Priscilla and Chelsea taught me. So I wanted to show you this. This is Prim Stitch Series Part 1. And so this is a series by Lori Holt. If you're in the club, your pattern will be shipping on the 3rd of the month. And if you're not part of the club, you can buy the pattern separately on July 11th. But if you want to stitch this as one big piece, if you're in the club, this will come with your club printed out, so you don't have to print it. And this is going to tell you how to lay it out as one big piece instead of individually. And all the information on how to cut your fabric and everything is there. Now, if you're not part of the club, you can download this for free. Just stitch Prim Stitch Series, and you can download it there, or you can download it on our blog. And so this is mine. This is part 1, and the pattern is beautiful. You'll see that it's full color. Look how accurate the color is. It's really, really nice. And so super excited about this. And I did want to let you guys know that Lori Holt has a brand new YouTube channel. It's just called Lori Holt. And on Friday, she released a video on how to paint with her chalk paint, or with any chalk paint, and how she puts the wax on the outside. And I actually watched it and texted her and said, oh my gosh, I think I could paint a frame. So, and she showed how she uses sandpaper and stuff like that. So I never knew, I'm not a painter, so I don't really know much. And I don't know if you guys know, but that's what Lori became famous for. She was a famous toll painter. And she published tons of toll painting books that you can still find sometimes on eBay. So she does know a lot about painting. And on this one, I did want to let you know, we stitched this on 25 count Prim. And if you're going to stitch them individually, this is a cutting diagram. And so if you want a small border around, you would buy one Prim Prim 25 count, and if you want a bigger border like I'm stitching, and I'll show you in a second, you would buy 2 packs. There is an Aida equivalent that is coming in. It will not be in for 3 weeks. It is called Cafe Mocha Country French 14 count, and it will come in about 3 weeks. So let me know if you'll have any questions on the Prim Stitch series. But again, when you get your club, it's a pattern club, so it's just the pattern, but you will get month 1, and then you will get 12 of these total, but you will get this printed for free so that you don't have to print it yourself.
All right, I'm gonna let questions roll in. Kim West earlier asked everyone to not forget to like this video for us.
Yeah, and you know, when I'm watching a live video, I can't figure out how to like it, so I have to like it after, because I don't know how.
Okay. Maybe we could do a little tutorial on that.
Yeah. So Bloom-Topia, I wanted to let you know, Bloom-Topia is something that we started in January. And it's a completely free pattern. This was finished by Priscilla and Chelsea of Stitching with the Housewives. So this is a completely free pattern. Release 11 is right here, this little basket, and this came out this morning. And in 2 weeks, you will have the border. And so this is completely free. We just asked for a donation to Make-A-Wish, and we have a link to that. And we're just trying to raise money for Make-A-Wish so that kids can get their wishes granted. So I just want to let you know that came out this morning. And then I can move on to whips or questions, either one.
We had a question from Cherry Gingham. What kind of painting was it that Lori used to do?
Toll painting. So it's like the people. It was popular in the 80s, like I don't know. You have to just Google toll painting, Lori Holt, and a bunch of stuff will pop up.
Okay. How do you spell that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe Lori's in the chat. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Someone put it in the chat here. I think it's Toile.
Yeah.
Okay. Painting. All right.
It was like when you see it, you'll remember the 80s.
Oh.
So I wanted to show you some whips that we're working on. So the first one is, Cody has been working on this one. This is Stitchville by Thimble Blossoms, and she is using 14 count white Aida, and this pattern does have half and quarter stitches, and she's doing them, and she's able to do it on Aida, and it looks great. So this is Cody's whip. The next one is Trick or Treat by Twin Creeks Primitive. Twin Peak Primitives. And Denise is working on this one. She's using DMC, and she is stitching on 32 count Lugana Platinum. And these holes are so tiny, and I'm so excited that she's doing it. It looks so hard. I can't even see one hole, much less. So pretty. And then my stitched finishes are, I can only show this part. This is part 4 of Prim Stitch series. So I have finished 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're a mystery, so I can't show it all to you. So I'm gonna mail this to Lori today because she's gonna finish it for me. And then last night, I gotta get it out of my bag and hide it. Last night I started part 6. So this is part 6. And I went to a baseball game, and the way that I was able to stitch at a baseball game is I just did an outline of what I'm doing, and then I just filled in. So if you're ever traveling or working on something, if you just do like an outline, you can fill it in. So that is my whips. And then now I'm going to show you framed finishes. So the very first one is August Trucking Along. This is a year of vintage trucks. If you're in the club, this shipped to you. And if you're not in the club, you can buy the pattern online and the kit. The PDF will be available in a month. But I wanted to show it to you in real life. So pretty. So this is Priscilla and Chelsea's from Stitching with the Housewives. So they are the designer. And this one is a slightly different finish than her others, and all 3 items are on magnets. So top, this is also on a magnet, and this is on a magnet.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And then the next finish is by Denise. It looks so awesome. This is the Bloom PDF pattern by Priscilla and Chelsea, and so she has a beautiful bow. She used some Bonnie and Camille fabric, some Lori Holt rickrack, and the item number on this, if you want to buy this paddle, I'll show it to you. Oh, it's not a paddle, it's a house. But it looks like a paddle. It's from the spring section of Hobby Lobby, and the number is 5269279, and she also has magnets on it so she can switch it out if she makes the other ones. Our next finish for the week is also by Denise. She's been super productive. This is Sunflower Inn by Little House Needleworks. And look how awesome this looks. I love it. So this is the same one that Priscilla also used on a different finishing that we have, which was the home. American Spirit, sorry. And so this, and you can see how beautiful she changed all the colors. And so that's a great way to just, anytime you see a pattern, if it looks like it won't fit your house, all you have to do is change the colors. So that is super awesome. So let me know if you have any questions on any of our whips or finishes or anything before I move to the next stuff we've been working on. Because, oh my gosh, we're so busy over here.
All right. Correction on Toll. It is spelled Tole, no I.
Yeah, I don't
spelled
know.
it earlier. People helped me out in the chat here, so thank you. Joanna Nelms was asking, what is a whip?
WIP is work in progress. So it just means that a project that you're in the middle of working on. And it's kind of a quilting term and a cross stitch term. I'm not sure if it's used in other, like, I don't know if crocheters or knitters use that term, but I do know that it's used in cross stitch and quilting.
From Janet Cadlick. So if I join the Lori Holt Prim, will it be $8 per month for the patterns?
Well, I'll look online. It's not. It's a different price, but I need to look real quick.
All right.
Let's see. Scroll down. Hold on. It's 12% off $7.98. So it is $6.98 a month plus shipping. And we ship them first class. And so you get those first before they even go on the website.
From Danielle Miller, could you show to cut week's Dyeworks floss? How to cut week's
Yeah, I
floss?
could. I have some in a bag. Let me see. You have some scissors? Let me see if I can. So this is from Mistletoe Lane. So I haven't started. So do you want to show Lily up close? So when you get Weeks Dye Works, this is a hand dyed thread that is not cut. It is 5 yards. So what I do is, and I actually prefer this because I cut it into strands of 4 instead of 5, which works better for me than the 5 strands that the others come in. So what I do is I just unwind it, kind of get it in a circle. It never comes out this good, so you kind of get it in a circle, and then I kind of just unroll it. I want the two ends to meet. And then just straighten it. It's going to become a mess because I'm on camera. But okay, and then I join that back up. And now I have 4 strands. So I cut and cut, and I have 4 strands. Of course, if you wanted to do 5, you could just measure out 1 yard cuts, but that's way too much work for me. So I do 4 strands, and then I just make a little loop, put it in here, and then that just saved me time, because when I start Mistletoe Lane, it'll already be cut, and I'll be like, well, who did that for me? So that's how you do weeks dye works. Super easy, and I actually prefer that rather than the five pieces.
Okay. From Sharon Berkemeyer, is the Mason Jar series done?
Yes.
Okay.
And now we have, that is called Chockful by Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine, and that was a series of 7 jars with stuff coming out of the top of the jar, and so we now sell that as a set of patterns if you're interested also, because we got that question a bunch.
All right, from Cynthia Adkins, Toile is, Toile is the French spelling. Both are correct depending on the country and how fancy you are feeling. Also, apparently the French pronunciation is toi. Yes.
I felt like I opened a can of worms today.
We're learning. Also, apparently knitters use whip, and also whip is used in manufacturing.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Interesting. Okay. Question from Flo Stevens. If you are stitching Prim as one piece, should you stitch the border first, and how many inches in from the outside of the fabric do you start the border?
2 inches to 3 inches, and it's up to you. What Lori did, because Lori's stitching hers as one piece. Now, obviously, I can't show you because it's a mystery. If you want a tease of what it is based off of her Prim applique quilt. So if you wanted to look at what the themes will be, it's going to be very similar. And what she did is she did the entire border, and then she filled in. So it's up to you. I would probably do the top row and then fill in those and then go as you go. But it kind of depends what kind of mood you're in. If you feel like you're on a good pace, but if you get, if you get bored of it, just move to something else. Move to the inside of the room.
All right. We have a couple super chats here. First one is from Susan Geisler for $1.99, and they say thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
We try our best.
Oh. And then our next super chat is from Jacqueline Woodard for $1.99, and they say thank you all at FQS for all that you do for us. Aw,
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
So I wanted to give you an update. Another thing that I've been working on is Singing in the Rain is a brand new stitch along, and Bev McCullough of Flamingo Toes designed this. So I will put it down and show you hers. And so this is her pattern. Hold on. And this is how the pattern looks. And her colors are listed. She stitched her sample on 14 count white Aida with Aurifloss. And I came up with different colors. So here's my colors. I have a thread pack for my colors. And we are on row. This week you will be doing the suns, and so that's row 1. So last week I showed you. Yeah, so this is mine, and you can see it next to hers. I'm using 25 count, so mine is slightly bigger. On row 1, I used Aurifloss 2425, 2435, and 2882. And on the row 1, I alternated the suns between 2425 and 2435. And then for the yellow, I just used color 2130. And on hers, she used a dark yellow and a light yellow, and I just used one yellow. And this does have she does have some regular X's with back stitches. And when I was doing, can you zoom in a little bit? Sorry. So if you look at hers really close, hers is all, keep going. There you go. Okay, so hers is all cross stitches, regular cross stitches. And then she added back stitches to accent. So what I did is I cheated and did some half stitches so I wouldn't have to do the back stitch. So that's the difference. I was trying to save time. Plus I didn't want to do the back stitch in here. I don't want to do back stitch ever. So that's how I cheated. I did some 3/4 inch stitches and I kind of just made it up as I went. So this week will be row 2. So this will be the umbrellas and the raindrops. And what I'm doing on mine is every week, once I finish the row, I'm going to put on our blog that already exists about singing in the rain on the Jolly Jabber. I will put the colors I'm using. So if you bought the thread pack or if you just want to follow along, or you can use Bev's colors, either way. And on hers, you can see that she has this outlined. I can already tell you I'm going to be doing 3/4 stitches so that I don't have any back stitches on mine. So that is Singing in the Rain. It's really fun to take a pattern and make it your own. I might hang this up in my sewing room, and so I wanted the colors to be matching my room. And then you can see on the back I traveled a lot because I got tired of I tried to not travel and I gave up. So I'm going to be working on this week along with Jolly July. So put everything back in my little bag. This is a cute little bag that Bev made me. So let me know if you have any questions on that before I go to new items.
From My Chaotic Amazing Life, how do you prepare your DMC? I keep finding myself cutting it as I go and it's taking so much time.
Cutting it as you go. So what I'll do is I'll figure out how big the piece is going to be. Then I add 6 inches around and then cut it. So I don't cut as you go. Oh, DMC strands of floss. Sorry, I was thinking of Aida.
Yes,
I was
correct.
confused.
Yes.
So in Aida, I cut that into 8 strands. I do the same thing, but I do 8 strands because DMC has 8.7 yards. So they come out slightly bigger than a yard. And I just do the same exact method. I just divide it until it gets to 8. Sorry, I thought you were asking about Aida.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
I was like, wait.
Sometimes when people ask me questions on the spot, they say that I get a deer in the headlights look. So that was probably one of those.
No. All right. We also had a comment from Lori Holt. She was saying, I just pulled out my Prim stitch to measure and I started 2.5 inches from the top and side of the left-hand corner and started stitching my border. Yes, and she tagged us in that, so I want to make sure to.
Yeah, and so
point it
she's
out.
stitching on her 25 count Prim. So if that's what you're doing, just do exactly what Lori did and it'll work.
Yes. Okay, from Gail Stale, will we be able to have Cheryl show 3/4 stitches and half stitches?
Yes, either she's going to do it or me. One of us will do it.
Yay.
And we're going to schedule it probably in about 2 weeks because we have a lot on the film schedule.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we have a couple super chats. One from Stitching with the Sisterlies for $9.99, and they say, good morning, FQS.
Thank you. And they're so funny. So they have a YouTube channel and they are hilarious. It's Cheryl and Colleen, and I like the little white dog.
Aww.
I don't remember the white dog's name, but I love that little white poodle dog.
Aww. All right, and then we have another one from Jacqueline Woodard for $1.99, and they say thank you all at FQS for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
We try so hard to do a good job. So I wanted to show you some new items that we got in. And so this one is a dimensions kit. So this is something that is something you could find at Joann's or Walmart, but we thought it was super cute. It comes with the hoop and everything you need. So this is super cute, and it does have a lot of backstitch, and then it's really cute because you can put your initials here if you wanted. And then we got this in just because I wanted to be able to buy it.
Oh my god.
I know. It's Pinky. So I got to make it. So I'm going to show you a little pop-up here real quick of Emma.
Yes.
So Emma, I'm trying to get her to cross stitch, and she's gonna die when she sees this. But this is her in my bed trying to cross stitch. So so I told her that when I showed her this last night and said on the website, and I showed her, and she said, "Oh, that looks really hard." But it does look like Piggy, right?
Yeah, I like how they included like the little rolls of his skin.
I know. So I might make it. I don't know. I'm gonna buy it. So I'm taking this home. I don't know. So cute. So that's new. Those are a little bit different than what we normally do. This is flash sale for today. This is Needle Bling Designs. And then we have some new items. So these are Madame Chantilly. This is iced lemonade. Ooh. This is Summer, and these are her most popular patterns for us, the 3-tiered tray. So she's had Christmas and Halloween, and this is Summer. And then Snow Village Part 10 came in. So this is an 11-part series. So this is Part 10. It is called Iced Coffee Cafe, and I am going to stitch this as part of Jolly July. So for Jolly July, I have written in Village 8, 9, and 10. So this is 10. So if you're in the club, you've already received it. So, and then there'll be just one more. And then Little House Needleworks, Salt Box Scriptures. So these were a pattern that was available previously, and she re-released it due to popular demand. And then Teresa Kogut, she has some new patterns. Snarky Cat.
Oh,
that looks like Calvin. And then Fabulous Monsters. There's an inside joke on this. I can't say it. Oh. And then this is another Fabulous Monsters. I'm about to. Oh my gosh. And then this is a brand new CW Samplers. And so this is going to be super popular. We got so many requests for this. Teresa Kogut has a YouTube channel, and she shows all of her stuff, and she talks about her inspiration. And as soon as she put up her video, we were getting emails immediately. And we are going to have a thread set for this. It's not available yet, and we're going to have the fabric available also, and Cheryl is going to stitch this so that you can see it as she stitches it. I'm not sure when she's going to start, but that's super exciting. And then another thing I wanted to show was, you know, y'all ask about needles all the time, and I use size 26. But lately I've been wanting to go a little bit faster, and I've been moving to 28 because it's sharper, and it's giving me calluses on my fingers, but I can go faster with the 28. So I just wanted to show that it is much more dangerous. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to show you some new stuff that Priscilla and Chelsea sent. And the first one is Calvin and Clyde. And this is a pattern that we're pre-selling, and it will ship next week. I know. So this is Calvin. And then I guess the scarecrow is Clyde. And so on her blog, priscillas2000.blogspot.com, she will put how she finished it. The number on this, it's from the fall 2020 section from Hobby Lobby, and the number is 513-7484. And so this is designed by Priscilla and Chelsea of The Real Housewives. We're pre-selling the pattern, and she was lovely enough to let us see it. And so if you pre-order, it will ship next week. The next one is Clovis and Stanley, and this will ship at the same exact time as Calvin and Clyde. I love the fall, y'all. I would put y'all fall, just to be funny. And so this is a denim dyed Monaco, and so they also have a video on their channel about how to dye Monaco, and it's super awesome. And I actually did see on Reddit that somebody mentioned their tutorial, so that was super awesome. Yay. And then the very next one is if you are in the Trucking Along Club, This will ship in the next week or 2 weeks. And so this one is similar to the August that I showed. It's just a different finishing. And so these 3 all have magnets, just like these 3. But she's showing you how you can make it on, so it's basically 2 pieces with an extra ribbon with an accent. I'm stitching mine as 1 piece. I did want to let you know, if you're in the club and you sign up for this, you're going to be getting Little Sprout, which is a brand new Classic Colorworks thread, and Sweet Potato. So those are new threads. So big thank you to them for letting us borrow their samples. And then let me know if you have any questions on all the stuff. Next week, I will be showing the very first week of Jolly July, so I need to get some hot chocolate and some energy because I got a lot of stuff to stitch this week.
All right. From Sylvia Martinez, how many years have you been doing Christmas in July?
This is our 2nd year. Now for quilting, we've been doing Christmas in July for a long time, but for cross stitch, this is our 2nd year.
From Tana Duncan Lewis, Lincoln and Daisy are the names of the cute white dogs.
Oh, I think it's Lincoln that I like the best. Sorry.
From Amber Malone, will you be getting the DMC pack back in for Glitter Village?
Yes. So DMC, we're getting shipments every day. There's 3 colors they are out of, and those colors are used over and over and over. And they're greens. So we basically have everything but 1 skein. So everything, DMC, Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, all of that, everything is on order. And the second it comes in, Denise or I allocate. So we watch it like a hawk.
All right, from Julie Whitegruft, do you know where we can get the pampas used to finish the individual Snow Village pieces? Maybe pom-poms?
Pom-poms.
Yeah.
Snow Village pom-poms. So I bet you could get those at Joann's. And usually on those, you would find it in the, okay, so they have these huge reels. They're white and they're plastic and they're these huge reels. And that's where you would probably find it. And it's within like the ribbon and it's in kind of a weird section of the store, but I bet that's where you can find it. We have some pom-poms that we sell, but they're too big. But that's where you would find it, on those big plastic. It's on the very back row of the store in the center.
And from Donna Winkler, good morning. Can we still join Trucking Along Club?
Yes. So if you join now, you will get September. And then the past ones would be online. So I just wanted to tell you guys thanks for joining me. I would love for you to follow us on FQSX Stitch on Instagram and Facebook. And I would love for you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And also for Jolly July, I want you to comment below and let me know what you're stitching. And I will see you next week.
Bye, guys.